Hello and welcome to Exotic Beverage Reviews. This is a thing that I used to do and apparently I'm doing it again now. Many years ago I had quite a collection of energy drinks and I wrote some very low effort reviews of them. I'll put a link in the description if you'd like to go and read those, but I will warn you, they're not really the most insightful things ever, but they're kind of the only record that I have of some of the weirder drinks that I managed to accumulate back then, and without having those vague written descriptions, I would really have no memory whatsoever of what most of those tasted like, except for possibly the absolute worst ones because they're going to go with me to my grave. What I find interesting about energy drinks is that they're a bit of a paradox. Almost all of the magical ingredients that make an energy drink, the stuff that they put in them that supposedly gives you some kind of advantage, all of those ingredients generally taste like crap. Caffeine, for example, has a horrible bitter taste. Taurine, frankly, tastes like bile, probably because it actually is bile, and vitamin B, which is in a lot of energy drinks, it tastes like rotting vegetables. So energy drink manufacturers have to work really hard to try and cover up or mask those unpleasant flavors with other things, which is usually just a ton of sugar and sweeteners. But I find it really interesting how some of them succeed at making something that doesn't taste terrible despite starting off with such disgusting ingredients. So victim number one for my new series of exotic beverage reviews is Bang Rainbow Unicorn by Redline Energy. It's called Bang Rainbow Unicorn. I really hope that's a name and not an instruction. Bang is the name of the energy drink. Rainbow Unicorn is the flavour or the variety. Checking their website, there are a multitude of other flavours, including watermelon, strawberry, root beer, purple haze, key lime, chocolate, and iced tea. I have concerns. So the front of the can has the byline potent brain and body fuel, and the back of the can claims that this is not your stereotypical high sugar energy drink that will spike your blood sugar and send you crashing into a brick wall, which sounds pretty positive to me. And the branding's fine. The graphic design is nice enough. The white can's a bit boring, but the colour scheme is otherwise pretty decent. The fonts are pretty typical of an energy drink label, not really anything graphically amazing. It's also interesting that the packaging includes at least 4 registered trademark symbols and another 2 regular trademark symbols. So good on Bang for looking after their intellectual property. Oh man, it contains a few things. So let's start with the ones that get top billing because most of them appear to be hyperbolic nonsense. Starring role on the front of the can goes to Super Creatine, registered trademark. Creatine is an animal-based organic compound. It's an amino acid derivative and it has a function in muscle and brain operation. It's sometimes used as a supplement for bodybuilders and high-functioning athletes, but for the average Joe, it's probably very likely it will do nothing at all, especially in the relatively tiny doses you'll find in an energy drink. Some studies suggest that creatine is actually made less effective when used in conjunction with caffeine, so its use in an energy drink becomes even more baffling. Super creatine, registered trademark, as opposed to a regular creatine, is a proprietary recipe for creatine infused with L-leucine, which is a ketogenic amino acid. L-leucine may have a link to slowing down aging in rats, but human experiments have not proven any benefits in that department. It might help to reduce the effects of epilepsy, but again, I wouldn't be drinking an energy drink solely for the benefit of reducing your epileptic symptoms. Other magical ingredients in the can include Ultra CoQ10 or coenzyme Q or ubiquinone. It's a coenzyme that's found in a lot of nuts and vegetables and meat. It may have some properties to help with migraine headaches. It does nothing for cancer or heart disease, and it's been used to treat a whole bunch of other things with very little evidence of success. We also have EAA aminos trademark, which is an abbreviation for essential amino acid aminos, which is a lovely example of redundant acronym syndrome. EAAs are generally just a blend of amino acids that supposedly have some beneficial effect. In the case of Bang Rainbow Unicorn, it's got all of these in it. I'm not going to go into detail on all of those because we'll be here all day, but suffice to say they're probably not something that you need more of in your life, and if you do need more of them, there's probably a medical prescription that will get you sorted out much better than an energy drink will. And the rest of the ingredients are the usual mix of artificial sweeteners, preservatives, and vitamin B12. Nothing too exciting, it's pretty standard for an energy drink. Oh boy, here we go. It smells very sweet, like super sweet. And fruity. I guess a rainbow unicorn contains fruit. That's kind of surprising. It's completely colourless. I was expecting pink or rainbow or something. I don't know. I wasn't expecting completely transparent. So that's unexpected and also uncommon for energy drinks, because most of the crap that goes into energy drinks has a colour of some sort. Normally your default sort of colour scheme for an energy drink is kind of a yellowish beige colour. So there you go, it's transparent, it looks like lemonade or Sprite. It actually smells really nice, and I know it's going to taste terrible because it's got artificial sweeteners in it. Let you in on a little secret, my reviews are going to be a little bit harsh towards drinks that have artificial sweeteners because I'm just not a fan. I really prefer real sugar in a drink. I mean, no one drinks these things for their health benefits, so please put sugar in them. Anyway, here we go. That is surprisingly not disappointing. It tastes like a very fruity lemonade. So not lemon lemonade, but the flavour profile of a lemonade, but with more fruit in it. It's a very artificial fruit, like tutti frutti, sort of bubblegummy sort of fruit. I was expecting a bubblegum flavour, given that it's called Rainbow Unicorn, but it's not quite bubblegum, it is much more fruity. It does have that slightly soapy aftertaste of artificial sweeteners, which is inevitable because it has artificial sweeteners, but aside from that, it's really quite nice. I have no regrets drinking this. I'm pleasantly surprised. It's not awful. Would I buy another can? Is this likely to become something that I would drink on a regular basis? Probably not, because it's an import and it was really expensive, but flavour-wise, it's quite nice, especially for an artificially sweetened drink. So yeah, go bang, nice. Okay, welcome to Ingredient Investigations. Caffeine. Humans have been using caffeine as a stimulant for about 5,000 years. It's a plant-based chemical found in tea and coffee, among other things, and it can be extracted and it can be concentrated for other uses. As a loose ingredient, caffeine is usually sold as a concentrated, bitter, white powder. Caffeine is part of the reason for the bitter taste of both coffee and tea, and it's also part of the reason why cola is so phenomenally sweet, because cola manufacturers have to dump an ungodly amount of sugar or other artificial sweeteners into cola to combat the bitterness of the caffeine and make cola actually taste nice. Caffeine is generally considered quite a safe stimulant and ingredient, and the equivalent lethal dose of caffeine is something in the vicinity of 50 to 100 cups of very strong coffee or a horribly unpleasant mouthful of pure caffeine. Don't do that. Remember that everything is a poison, all that matters is the dose. Thank you, Dr. Carl. In the context of energy drinks and the amount of caffeine in them, you will almost always get more caffeine from a decent cup of real coffee, which can contain anywhere from the same amount to double or even triple the amount of caffeine in a can of, for example, Red Bull, which is probably your best sort of benchmark for an energy drink. I think everyone knows what Red Bull is. So there we go, the first in a series of exotic beverage reviews that will only be a series if I bother to keep going with it. Thank you for watching, and do come back next time when I review something else ridiculous from a brightly coloured can.